You guys are all focusing on getting the birth certificate. We know how to get it. The point is, the birth certificate name, your birth name, if you changed your name after getting married, that has to match your ID that you use when you show up to register. Your ID is not proof of citizenship. The birth certificate is.
Hello guys, welcome back to Inside Republic. On today's video, we are talking about the SAFE Act. Well, the SAFE Act mandates proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections, aiming to prevent non-citizen voting and strengthen election security amid controversy over its potential impact on voter access. Kindly like and share this video, subscribe and follow for more videos like this. And to show us some extra love, you can send us some super thanks. We'll truly appreciate that. Now let's watch the following video clips.
So that has to match your ID name. So like all of you keep saying how easy it is to get the birth certificate, and you're ignoring that the actual problem is that they want the names to match, which is then a hindrance for women in terms of voting.
I bet good money that the people who are pushing for the SAVE Act in the House don't even know that your name isn't automatically changed when you get married. So yeah, take that extremely tedious and laborious process off my plate, please.
Do y'all remember in The Handmaid's Tale when they eliminated women's bank accounts in like one foul swoop? Well, that's what Republicans are trying to do right now with women's voting rights, with the SAVE Act, which would strip tens of millions of women their right to vote. And it's already passed the House with 4 Democrats signing on. Here's their names. Obviously, they have to fucking go. But it goes to the Senate now where it has to be stopped. So they need 60 votes, so call your senators. And this bill says that in order to vote, you must either have a passport with your name on it that matches your voting record, or your birth certificate, which also needs to match your voting record. So any woman that's changed her name to take her husband's name would not be eligible to vote unless they had a passport, which half of the country does not have. So this is what they're trying to do. And it should not matter who you voted for. This is about having the ability to partake in the election process, without which we will officially no longer be a democratic nation. So share this around, people. We gotta fucking stop this one.
Here's the thing, even if the SAVE Act doesn't affect you, you should be upset about it. It doesn't affect me personally, because when I got married, I didn't change my last name, and this is not my last name, by the way, and I have a passport, so like I'm all covered, right? But like we should never be okay with the disenfranchisement of any person, whether we agree with them politically or not. A core tenet of democracy is access to voting. Now, our country does have a long, storied history of voter disenfranchisement that has continued in less obvious ways to this day. But we should absolutely be concerned about how bold and how open it is. It's always been a problem, but they're not trying to hide it anymore. And they're going after people they haven't tried to go after in the past. This is not where they started with disenfranchisement, and this is not where they will stop with disenfranchisement.
It is insane to me that every single time something happens like the SAVE Act getting passed, the left comes up with something that they just all repeat. So now that the SAVE Act got passed, the left is now saying collectively that it is to keep women from voting. It is to keep women who recently got married, who changed their maiden name on their identification, to keep them from voting. And for whatever reason, every single creator on this app who's making these videos, the one I just saw had 1 million likes. For whatever reason, none of them bring up an ID as in a driver's license. Every single one of them are talking passports, which if you read the bill, identification as in driver's license, and yes, a passport also works. But if you've gotten married, renew your driver's license. It's like any other responsibility that you have. Not to mention states like mine already required for you to show your ID when you go to vote. Which I guess that means women from here have just been oppressed for far too long, but yet the left wants to talk about how strong and independent women are, but you guys are now saying that they aren't competent enough to get a driver's license renewed. But the scariest part to me with all of this is the left collectively repeating the same thing like they always do, and they believe it. Like, we're the ones in a cult. Okay.
I want to put together a class action lawsuit, and I don't want to sue to overturn the law should it pass. I want to sue for the financial costs that it's going to put upon the people that it's attempting to disenfranchise. So I'm talking about the cost of getting a notarized birth certificate. I'm talking, and not just the birth certificate itself, but like think about all the things that go into like making a call to get your notarized. So it's time, right? Which is worth money. And then it's the use of your phone or your cell phone or whatever. So it's part of your like cell phone bill. It's the wear and tear on your cell phone. It's the emotional impact of having to make the call and deal with all of that, right? It's the cost of the check that you have to send because you have to pay for this, right? All those things cost money. So if it's say $30 for a notarized birth certificate, we add another say $30 on for the cost of shipping, wear and tear, cost of checks, all that stuff. And then there's your time, right? So maybe we add another, say, I don't know, $50 on for your time. So then we do the same thing for the passport, right? Because you have to pay for the photos and you have to pay the passport fee and you have to take the time to do all of that. And right. So what I'm thinking is that we would have one lump sum that you would be paid right up front, right? For the cost of birth certificate, passport, and all of that. But then they would have to pay you to maintain the passport. And that's assuming that like the passport fees are going to go up. Your cost of your like labor itself is probably going to go up as well. So, then I'm looking at another several $100s every time you go to renew your passport. I think we just sue because I feel like money is the only thing that the federal government, our current federal government, actually cares about. So let's just take the money away and let's give it back to the people that they're attempting to disenfranchise. What do we think? I mean, if you're interested in joining I'm serious about this. If you're interested in joining a class action lawsuit, let me know. And you please repost this to other platforms. I'm not on any Meta platforms. I am on Blue Sky, so I'm going to put this up on my Blue Sky account as well. But I'm serious about this. I think we should just sue for what it's going to cost and then what it's going to cost to maintain it so that they're not burdening the group of people that they're attempting to disenfranchise. And if you're a lawyer and you're interested in this, let me know. Yeah, my dog's in. So, let's just sue him. And if you have a Republican senator, sorry about that. My dog was very excited about something he saw out the window. Anyway, if you have a Republican representative in the Senate, like I do, Banks and Young, I'm looking at you two, maybe send this to them, so that they get an idea of what's coming their way.
The SAFE Act, while framed as a safeguard for election integrity, could come at a steep price literally for millions of married women who legally changed their names. Requiring updated documents that match birth certificates creates a costly burden, especially when changing a birth certificate, which is often impractical or impossible. Those who didn't change their names after marriage remain unaffected, creating a stark divide that feels like a punishment for personal choice. At its core, the right to vote is the cornerstone of democracy, and this act threatens to chip away at that by enforcing bureaucratic hurdles. While with a little official clarification and a storm of misinformation swirling online, confusion reigns, and legal experts warn that class action lawsuits may soon follow as disenfranchised citizens push back against the unintended fallout of a law meant to protect, not exclude. And that's it for today, guys. Let's chat in the comment section down below. What do you think about the SAFE Act? Until next time, take care.